So now students, let us start from the topic Bindusara. Chandragupta Maurya was succeeded by his son Bindusara, who ruled for about 25 years. During his reign, the empire extended up to Mysore. Then when Ashoka ascended the throne in 273 BCE, Kalinga was the only kingdom that was not under the Mauryan control. Kalinga was a powerful kingdom and it controlled the land and sea routes to South India and Southeast Asia. Control of this region would give Ashoka the key to greater economic prosperity. Now, in 261 BC, Ashoka attacked Kalinga and conquered it after a bitter struggle. His empire was stretched from Himalayas in the north to Mysore in the south, and from Hindu Kush in the northwest to Brahmaputra in the east. So, it also included Kabul, Kandahar, Herat, and parts of Nepal and Kashmir. So, now Ashoka's victory in Kalinga did not bring him any joy and satisfaction. The death, destruction, and great human suffering in this war filled his heart with sorrow and remorse. The Kalinga War became a turning point in Ashoka's life. He made up his mind to give up the warfare and conquer the hearts of people with love. Ashoka was deeply influenced by Buddhist principles of compassion, peace, and non-violence. He embraced Buddhism and devoted his life to the moral and material welfare of his subjects. The policy of Digvijaya was replaced by Dhamma Vijaya. The word Dhamma is derived from the Sanskrit word Dharma, which means religious duty. Ashoka's idea of Dhamma was based on human values and a code of conduct. He dedicated his life to the spreading of the message of Dhamma in India and abroad. The main principles of Dhamma were as follows. People should live in peace and harmony. Everyone should follow ahimsa. People should love one another. Now, there is propagation of Dhamma. Propagation of Dhamma, you don't have to read much. So, in just a brief, I am discussing. Ashoka set a personal example by strictly following the principles of Dhamma. He ordered the construction of Buddhist monasteries. He sent learned Buddhist scholars to distant lands and to spread Buddhism. His son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra were sent to Sri Lanka to spread the message of Buddhism. So, propagation of Dhamma, not too much you have to read, just a brief explanation I did. Ashokan edicts, but you have to read. Ashokan edicts, read it carefully. Edicts are the source of valuable information. Okay, so they are the royal commands and were inscribed on rocks, polished stone pillars, and caves. Edicts were composed in Prakrit, the language of the people, and written in Brahmi script. Now, what are the ideals for a kingship? The ideals of a kingship, as he worked with prosperity, Ashoka, happiness and welfare of his subjects, he appointed officials called Mahamattas. He built good roads and planted shady trees. Wells were dug and rest houses were built. Health centers were built for people. Officials were sent on tours to find out and solve the problems. Ashoka occupies a unique place in history of human civilization. He was the first monarch in the ancient world to renounce war, proclaim peace and non-violence. He championed the cause of universal brotherhood and tolerance, and in words of historian H.G. Wells, amidst the tens of thousands of names of monarchs in history, Ashoka is the one which shines alone. So this is the lesson of the Mauryan Empire. We just did the revision. We had already done in the videos previously. We did the revision today, and today you are going to get Google form also. Please check for Google form. You are going to solve the Google form today, and do solve it. Compulsory. Don't leave it. Solve the Google form. Questions related to the Mauryan Empire is given today. Okay, the short questions. And the questions related to fill in the blanks, true, false, choose the correct option. These all type of category questions will be there, mixed questions. So I hope so you all will solve it. Thank you, students.